A black single dad took a simple cleaning job at a powerful female CEO's mansion, believing it was just another way to provide for his young daughter. But when armed intruders stormed the estate, one ordinary worker revealed an extraordinary past that changed everyone's lives forever. Watch until the end to discover the shocking twist, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this inspiring story with your friends. Marcus Silva, a 35-year-old black single father, had spent the last year fighting one challenge after another in the beautiful city of Porto, Portugal. Ever since the shipping company where he worked closed its local operations, finding stable employment had become almost impossible. Every morning he left his modest apartment with hope, carrying copies of his resume from one business to another. No matter how many interviews he attended, the answer was always the same. They had already hired someone else. Still, Marcus refused to surrender because every decision he made centered on giving his 8-year-old daughter Sophia a safe, happy, and secure future. Sophia was the brightest part of Marcus's life. She greeted him every evening with a smile that erased the exhaustion from long days of disappointment. Marcus prepared her breakfast, walked her to school whenever possible, and spent his nights helping with homework before searching online for new job opportunities. He never allowed his daughter to see how worried he truly was about unpaid bills or the shrinking balance in his bank account. Instead, he encouraged her to dream big, reminding her that difficult times never lasted forever if people continued working with honesty, patience, and determination. One afternoon, Marcus received a phone call from a local employment agency offering a temporary cleaning position at one of Porto's most luxurious private estates. The mansion belonged to Isabella Costa, a respected businesswoman whose technology company had become one of Portugal's fastest-growing success stories. Although cleaning was far different from Marcus's previous profession, he accepted immediately without hesitation. Honest work was always better than waiting for perfect opportunities. He ironed his clothes carefully, polished his shoes, and arrived early on his first day, determined to prove that dedication could speak louder than any job title. The mansion stood on a hill overlooking the Douro River, surrounded by elegant gardens, stone pathways, and towering iron gates guarded by advanced security systems. Inside, marble floors reflected sparkling crystal chandeliers while priceless paintings decorated the walls. Every room displayed extraordinary craftsmanship and expensive furniture collected from around Europe. Marcus admired the beauty for only a moment before focusing entirely on his responsibilities. He treated every object with extreme care, believing that professionalism meant respecting another person's property as if it were his own. His quiet discipline quickly impressed the estate manager and several long-serving employees. Isabella Costa rarely interacted with the household staff because her demanding schedule kept her occupied with board meetings, international investors, and business negotiations. At 38, she had earned a reputation as one of Portugal's most influential entrepreneurs through intelligence, discipline, and relentless hard work. Whenever she crossed paths with Marcus, she acknowledged him with a polite nod before continuing toward another meeting. To her, he appeared to be another temporary cleaner who would likely disappear after a few weeks. She never imagined that the quiet man carefully polishing her marble floors possessed remarkable courage hidden beneath his calm personality. Days passed peacefully, and Marcus earned the trust of everyone working inside the mansion. He arrived before sunrise, completed every assignment without complaint, and even volunteered to help elderly employees carry heavy equipment. During lunch breaks, he quietly looked at photographs of Sophia on his phone, reminding himself why every hour of hard work mattered. His honesty became obvious when he returned an expensive diamond bracelet accidentally left in a guest room without expecting praise or reward. Small actions like these slowly built respect among the staff, even though Isabella remained unaware of the cleaner's exceptional character. Late one rainy evening, dark clouds covered Porto as strong winds rattled the mansion's windows. Most employees had already finished their duties, leaving only a small night staff inside the enormous residence. Marcus was carefully cleaning the grand entrance hall when an ear-piercing security alarm suddenly echoed through every corridor. Before anyone could understand what had happened, the massive front doors burst open. Several armed intruders wearing dark clothing and masks stormed inside, shouting orders while demanding immediate access to Isabella Costa's private vault. Fear instantly spread throughout the mansion as frightened employees froze in disbelief, and Marcus realized that escaping would not be as easy as anyone hoped. As the armed intruders spread across the mansion, fear quickly overwhelmed everyone inside. The criminals moved from room to room, demanding access to Isabella Costa's private vault while threatening anyone who stood in their way. Marcus remained remarkably calm despite the terrifying situation. Carefully observing the attackers' movements, he realized that panic would only make matters worse. Quietly approaching Isabella and the remaining employees, he whispered for them to follow him without making a sound. Guiding the frightened group through a little-used service corridor, Marcus led them toward a hidden storage room designed for emergency situations, hoping it would keep them safe until help could arrive. Inside the secure storage area, Marcus locked the reinforced door and instructed everyone to remain silent. Isabella looked at him with surprise, wondering how a temporary cleaner knew so much about the mansion's emergency layout. Marcus explained that he had carefully studied every exit and safety route during his first days because he believed preparation was part of doing any job responsibly. While comforting the terrified employees, he noticed a control panel connected to the building's emergency systems. An idea immediately formed in his mind, but he understood that carrying it out would require leaving the safety of the room and facing the armed intruders alone. Without wasting another second, Marcus quietly slipped out through a maintenance passage while everyone else remained hidden. Moving carefully through the dark corridors, he avoided the criminals by listening to their footsteps and watching their positions through security mirrors. Reaching the central control room, Marcus activated the mansion's emergency fire suppression and evacuation system. Loud alarms echoed throughout the building as flashing lights illuminated every hallway. Thick emergency mist filled several sections of the mansion, reducing visibility and confusing the intruders. Believing the building had become unsafe, the criminals lost their coordination and began shouting conflicting orders to one another. The emergency system automatically alerted the local authorities, and within minutes, Portuguese police units surrounded the mansion from every direction. Officers quietly secured every entrance while waiting for the perfect opportunity to move inside. Confused by the alarms and unable to communicate effectively, the intruders unknowingly walked into carefully planned police positions. A tactical team entered the building, ordering the criminals to surrender immediately. Realizing there was no escape, the armed men dropped their weapons without firing a single shot. Every employee inside the mansion was rescued safely, and the dangerous situation ended without any innocent person suffering serious injury. When the police confirmed the building was secure, Isabella walked out of the storage room and saw Marcus standing beside the officers, exhausted but unharmed. She struggled to believe that the quiet man she had barely noticed during the past week had protected everyone at enormous personal risk. Thanking him with genuine emotion, she admitted she had judged him only by his temporary cleaning uniform instead of recognizing his character. Marcus simply smiled and replied that protecting innocent people was more important than protecting his own comfort. His humility impressed not only Isabella, but also the police officers. Investigating the incident. Later that evening, while giving his official statement to the authorities, Marcus revealed a part of his past that very few people knew. Before becoming a full-time father, he had worked in professional security, receiving advanced training in emergency response, crisis management, and public safety, after his beloved wife passed. Away following a serious illness, Marcus chose to leave that demanding career so he could devote himself entirely to raising Sophia. Although years had passed since he wore a security uniform, the knowledge and discipline remained with him, allowing him to respond confidently when lives depended on quick decisions. Several days after the frightening incident, Isabella invited Marcus to her corporate headquarters in Porto. Instead of discussing his temporary cleaning contract, she offered him a permanent executive position as head of security for her growing company. She explained that technical skills could be taught, but honesty, courage, compassion, and leadership during moments of crisis were qualities that could never be purchased. Marcus accepted the opportunity with gratitude, knowing it would provide a stable future for Sophia and open a new chapter in their lives. That unforgettable night reminded everyone that true greatness is never defined by wealth or job titles, but by the courage to protect others when it matters most.